Muhammad Ali was midway through the third round when a voice from the crowd shattered the rhythm of the fight. A loud, slurred shout cut through the roar of the arena like a bell no one expected to hear. What happened next left 20,000 people in stunned silence. It was March 12, 1976, Caesar's Palace, Las Vegas. Ali was in full control, light on his feet, playful grin, working the crowd as much as his opponent. Cameras flashed, fans chanted, "Ali, Ali!" and the world's greatest showman was once again turning a fight into poetry. Then from the middle rows came the words, "You ain't the people's champ, Ali, you're just a mouth." The voice belonged to Bobby Big Mike Henderson, a 35-year-old construction worker from Phoenix. He'd been drinking at the casino bar since noon, bragging he'd teach Ali a lesson. He didn't buy the ticket out of admiration. He bought it to prove some twisted point that the champ was all talk. Ali heard it. Everyone did. For a beat, he kept gliding, jab, feint, shuffle. Then he eased back into the ropes, eyes narrowing toward the sound. "Who said that?" he called, voice booming through the PA. "We got a new challenger tonight?" Laughter rippled, nervous, excited. Security began moving, but Ali lifted a gloved hand. "Let him be." The spotlight swung and found Big Mike, red-faced, wobbling, throwing his arm like a challenge flag. "Come on down," Ali shouted. "If you're brave enough to talk, be brave enough to walk." The sound in the building changed. Some cheered, some gasped, and the drunk man, half pride, half whiskey, started down the aisle. He reached the apron and fumbled at the ropes. The referee looked to Ali. Ali nodded. The heckler stepped into the ring. 20,000 hearts climbed into 20,000 throats. Ali, robe off, gloves on. Ali, bright across his white waistband, stood 3 feet away from a man who could barely stand. Up close you could see everything booze hides. The sleepless eyes, the frayed edges, the life coming apart. "Now listen, brother," Ali said, soft but firm into the corner mic. "You came here to see if I'm a real man. Tell me, ever been in a ring before?" Big Mike sneered. "Don't need to, you're just a talker." Ali smiled, patient as a teacher. "All right, then tonight you get your chance. But we ain't gonna fight like animals. We're gonna teach 20,000 people what makes a man." He slipped off one glove and handed it to the heckler. The crowd laughed, then clapped, unsure whether to fear or rejoice. "Show me your stance," Ali said. Big Mike tried. Hands up, chin high, feet wrong. Ali circled him, dancing on air. The drunk tossed a slow, looping jab. Ali leaned back comically, selling it like it hurt. "Ooh, almost got the greatest." The building burst into laughter. Tension bled out of the rafters. Then Ali stopped. He put a hand on the man's shoulder. He lowered his voice. "What's really hurting you tonight?" The man's jaw worked. His chest heaved. "I lost my job," he croaked. 2 weeks ago, my wife, she left. I just wanted somebody to notice me." Silence. A kind of silence arenas aren't built for. Somewhere a paper cup fell and rolled. No one bent to pick it up. Cameras lowered. The timekeeper glanced at the clock and forgot to ring. Across the ring, even Ali's opponent leaned on the ropes and waited. Ali nodded. Slow, human. "Well, you got 20,000 people noticing you now," he said, "and none of them are laughing anymore." The hush broke into applause, gentle at first, then building like rain. Ali lifted the man's wrist the way you lift a winner's. "This," he told the crowd, "is what courage looks like, standing up and saying you're hurting." He draped his corner towel over Big Mike's shoulders. "Keep that," Ali said. "You came here angry, you're leaving a fighter." For a long beat, nobody moved. The ropes barely swayed. Somewhere high up, a man wiped his eyes. Down by the aisle, a woman put a hand to her heart. And Big Mike, the tough talker, started to cry. "Mike, Mike, Mike!" The chant rolled through Caesar's, not like a taunt, but like a welcome. Ali guided him to the ropes, then stopped, turned back to the house and spoke not as a boxer, but as a man. "All my life they said I talked too much. But a mouth can lift people. You don't beat pain by throwing punches at strangers. You beat it by letting somebody hold your arm when you're falling." He walked Big Mike to a ringside chair, leaned in, and whispered something only the man could hear. Later people said it was, "Don't fight the world, fight for yourself." Big Mike nodded, clutching the towel like a lifeline. The bell never rang for that round. Nobody missed it. The referee shrugged. The judges shrugged. The knight took a breath and found a better story. When Ali returned to center ring, he raised a glove toward the seats where Big Mike sat. "We got a new cornerman tonight," he grinned. "Y'all be kind. He's learning on the job." Laughter rippled again, softer this time, threaded with relief. The fight resumed. Jabs like metronomes, feet like scripture. Between rounds, Ali kept glancing down, giving little nods that said, "Stay with me." And Big Mike, sobered by mercy, stayed with him every second. Backstage later, reporters tried to drag the moment into headlines. Ali waved them off. "Write about the fight if you gotta," he said. "But that man out there, he fought something bigger." In the quiet of the dressing room, he asked his team for a pen and a card. "You're not your worst night," he wrote. "Show up tomorrow." He tucked the note into the towel and sent a runner to hand it to Mike before he left the grounds. After the decision, Ali unanimous, the night still his, he waved off the post-fight swagger. No rhymes, no dances, just business of the heart. He walked to the edge, pointed to Big Mike, and beckoned him back inside the ropes. "Champ," Big Mike whispered, eyes red. "I'm sorry." Ali smiled. "Apology accepted, on one condition." "What's that?" "You come see me tomorrow. My people gonna help you find work." He turned to the crowd. "Anybody here runs a crew, owns a site, needs a man who'll show up hungry. Come talk to us. Tonight a man told the truth in front of 20,000 people. That's the hardest work there is." He handed Big Mike to his team like you hand someone to family. The arena was on its feet again, not roaring but rising, the way people rise in church. And the story didn't end in the lights. 3 contractors found Ali's camp before midnight. One hired Big Mike by week's end. He moved to Vegas, worked 15 years, got his footing back. He'd tell the tale in bars and barbecues and break rooms, always the same last line. "Ali didn't beat me. Ali believed me." Word of the night traveled. Man to man, gym to gym, booth to booth on sports radio. Broadcasters called it the night the champ fought with heart. Comedians told it as a lesson in handling hecklers. Pastors told it as a sermon about anger and grace. Ali, for his part, boiled it to a sentence. "You don't win a man with a fist. You win him with a hand." Years later, ushers at Caesars still talked about the hush, the towel, the chant that turned. Trainers told young fighters the story in quiet halls. Control the ring, but master yourself. And security staff, usually, trained to remove, remembered the night mercy de-escalated faster than muscle ever could. If you ask why people still say he was the greatest, they'll point to nights like this, when the gloves, the footwork, the titles all stepped aside, and what remained was larger than a fight, a champion who could stop an arena, still the storm, inside a stranger, and send 20,000 people home having witnessed something stronger than power, mercy.